Got a new remand prisoner for you, Mrs. Ballinger.
You're expecting her, we understand.
Oh, yes. And you are?
Federal Police.
Oh, I see.
Her papers.
Oh, thank you. Now, Mrs. Ballinger.
I presume I'll be able to have my luggage in my room.
Well, it's not
I'm sure you'll be able to arrange it for me, won't you? Your name is?
Barry? Mrs. Barry?
And I'd like you to take special care of my coat. Mink needs careful handling, as I'm sure you know.
Oh, yes, of course. We'll have to hold all your jewellery here, I'm afraid.
Naturally. It wouldn't be safe for me to wear it in a place like this now, would it?
No. Oh, what a beautiful ring.
Yes, it is quite nice. The diamonds come from my husband's mine near our estate in South America. Do you have it, Mrs. Barry?
Oh, no.
Oh, please, I'm tired of it anyway.
Better be careful, Mrs. Barry. That could be construed as an attempt to bribe an officer.
Oh, really? I was just looking at it.
Not quite the Savoy, but I'm sure I'll be able to make myself comfortable.
I'll have to ask you to unpack the suitcases and then they'll be put in the store.
Yes, well, there doesn't seem any way here to store them, does there? Not much wardrobe space either.
I'll be taking you to see the governor shortly.
How very social.
In the meantime, you should make your bed and get yourself organised.
Make my bed. Well, that'll be a trip down memory lane.
Oh, and here's the rule book. You want to read that?
Of course. We must stick to the rules, mustn't we?
Well, I'll be back shortly.
Thank you, Mrs. Barry. That cell of mine is very small. I'm sure you can find me something larger. And I know I shan't be able to sleep in that little cot. I need a new bed. A double one with a bedside table
That is
would make an enormous
ridiculous.
difference. And an armchair, a reading lamp, and some extra hanging space for my
Ballinger,
clothes.
you don't seem to understand.
A television would begin to make life
This
bearable.
is a
wouldn't it?
prison. I cannot possibly make exceptions like that.
Perhaps you would contact the Federal Police, speak to Whittaker, tell him what I need, and tell him I'm prepared to pay, of course.
I'm sorry.
It stands to reason, doesn't it? They want me to cooperate with them, so they should start cooperating with me. I feel sure you'll see my point. Look, is there someone I should talk to? The boss or the top dog, if my memory serves me correctly?
That's me. The name is Myra Desmond. And as an educated lady, you probably know what the word patronising means.
Oh, dear. Is that what I was being? I certainly didn't intend
Glad to hear it.
I have no desire to upset anyone. Particularly as I don't expect to be here for very long.
That's good. Jill, introduce Mrs. Ballinger around, would you?
Go on.
Well, I just figured I could be of some use to you. I mean, if you had to escape, for instance.
Nothing that drastic will happen.
You never know. I broke out of here once. But I didn't have the connections to get out of the country.
Now you have.
I just figured I could be of some use to you and your old man if you...
His name is Mr. Ballinger, and I will not have him referred to as my old man. Do you understand? People have disappeared without a trace for much less. Don't you even think about it. Cigarette? Here, thanks. Let me make one point quite clear. I don't make deals, I don't need to. I don't need any help either inside or outside. However, if I should decide to make use of your services and talents, I'll be the one to decide how and when. Understood? A woman of your abilities could be very useful in my husband's organization. He pays intelligent people very well.
Get it. Your husband's organization nearly killed my daughter.
Pardon?
Heroin. I mean, that's what he's all about, isn't it? That's what's bought you the fur coats and the cars and the houses and the cigarettes.
I know that's what the papers say.
Papers be buggered. When it comes to drugs, he's the man, he's the biggest, and everybody knows it.
No. I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't interfere with my husband's work. Myra, I'm sorry about your daughter. But you see, he's my husband. And I love him.
That's fair enough. We'll get along just fine. As long as your handouts don't include drugs.
I want the names of everyone soon to be released. But I only want to know about the young, attractive ones.
Oh, sure. Patterson and Graham don't have long to go in this block. There's quite a few in D block.
Good. Get me a list as soon as you can.
You're going to use them as pros or drug running?
That's none of your business. What is the situation with drugs in here?
Well, there ain't none. Visitors can sometimes get them in. Desmond's got a nose for them. No dice as far as she's concerned.
But if the grass came in, would there be a market?
Oh, you bet.
And the hard stuff?
Look, the girls in here are desperate for anything. You get it in and I'll flog it for you.
Good.
But you've got to get it round Desmond.
But if it's only harmless grass, she can't object, can she?
She will.
Well, I'll have to convince her it's good for the women, won't I?
Is Desmond in danger of becoming accident-prone?
Could be. Of course, getting rid of a top dog requires some form of compensation.
Of course.
I need a package brought in undercover.
What's in it?
Grass.
No way. Too risky.
Fair enough. But considering how badly you want to get rid of Desmond, it's a small price to pay, isn't it?
Only if she's taken care of permanently.
Done. Good quality stuff. Too good for this place.
You said the contact would give me one package, Ballinger. What's in the second one?
Let's have a look, shall we? Might find a big surprise.
I can do without surprises. I was searched this morning and came
I'm
very
sure
close.
you're far too clever to get caught.
Oh, there'll be no danger of that, because there won't be any more deliveries.
We'll see. Why, what a coincidence. It's exactly what I expected to find.
You said I was only bringing in marijuana.
Did I say that?
That wasn't part of the agreement.
Oh, I think it was. It's a terrible thing, of course. But I think Myra's had a hell of a time recently. Not a word from any of her friends, not even a boyfriend. A girl can get so depressed when something like that happens. Even suicidal. I believe an overdose of heroin is a very unpleasant affair.
The infamous Mrs. Ballinger is a businesswoman in her own right, handling a large part of her husband's empire.
Why? What's she into? Gun running up the Amazon?
Her forte is pornography. Child pornography.
Bloody hellfire.
You can read it for yourselves if you've got the stomach for it. Child prostitution, photographs, blue movies, slave trade.
Well, that certainly paints a picture.
Mrs. Reynolds, the women, when they find this out...
They mustn't find out. No matter how disgusted we are, we have to protect her. It's our job.
You heard anything about Myra? Nobody's told me.
Get out, Graham.
Camembert?
No. I seem to have lost my appetite, Ballinger. I've been reading about you. You're full of surprises, aren't you?
Meaning?
Your child pornography business. Must be worth a fortune.
Where did you hear about that?
Feds have got a file on you. Don't worry, I gather they're a long way off proving it.
They can't prove a thing. You see, I run a very efficient business.
Why, Ballinger?
Why? You'd be surprised how many 40-year-old executives desire the taste of sweet young flesh. They find little girls and boys erotic. There's a market for erotica. I simply supply a demand.
What happens to them afterwards?
Afterwards? Who knows?
You bitch!
You touch me, Ferguson, and you're in trouble.
Touch you?
What do you think the department will do about these? I think you'll have trouble explaining them away. You see, the police picked him up the next morning, and they know he doesn't deliver telegrams.
I don't care.
I want her charged with assault.
And when did this alleged assault take place?
Look at me, it's hardly alleged. The blood's still fresh on my face.
When did it happen?
15 minutes ago.
You've been on duty for the last hour?
Aye.
Did you see any officer or prisoner in the vicinity of Ballinger's cell?
No, Mrs. Reynolds.
I'm telling you, she bashed me and she
I
should be
wasn't
charged.
speaking to you. Be quiet. Did you hear?
Mr. Cruikshank wasn't
If you
there when it
insist on
happened.
interrupting, I'll charge you with insubordination. Now wait until you're addressed. You realize that to make a false allegation against an officer is a serious offense, don't you?
It isn't a false accusation.
Then how do you account for the fact that Miss Ferguson and I have been in conference for the last half hour?
You're lying.
I suggest you're lying, and I have your record to support my theory.
I'm not. She bashed me and I wanted to pay for it.
Mrs. Morris, when you came into this office, was Miss Ferguson in here with me?
Yes.
Well, Ballinger, unless you can provide proof that you were assaulted, I'm afraid I can't lay charges.
You set me up, all of you.
By rights, I should be punishing you for lying, but I'll wait until I get the medical report. I suggest that you had a nasty fall in your cell and bumped your head. You're probably suffering from concussion. Is that possible? Right. Mr. Crookshank, would you escort Mrs. Ballinger back to her cell, please?
Right. Come along, Ballinger.
Would you care for something decent to eat while you're here?
Looks good. But I'm not hungry.
Oh, let me go!
Not yet, lady. The freak must have brought it in. But it was your coffee that I had the pleasure of drinking the other night. It was very nice of you to send Daphne over to keep me company.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I think you do.
What's the hold up, Mara?
Oh, nothing, Mr. Crookshank. Just wondering if this stuff will go through the washer without any damage.
Top quality stuff can cope with the roughest treatment.
Right, well, get a move on then. Ballinger, the governor wants to see you.
In case you're wondering who cleaned out your stash of poison, it was me.
You? But you're taking quite a bit on yourself, aren't you?
From what's been going on around here, I don't think it's a moment too soon.
Why don't you stop playing mother hen for 5 minutes and let your little brood look after themselves?
After what you did to Daphne, I ought to ram your head down there and make you lick that bowl clean. And if you bring any more stuff in, that's exactly what I'm going to do, understand? Understand?
Get away with this.
No more freaks, lady. You might have been queen of the tarts on the outside. But in here you're nothing. You're less than nothing. And judging from those bruises, I'd say the freak agrees with me.
Ferguson will pay for this and so will you. I know enough people in high places to make sure of that.
Whenever you head over Reno, I think you've lost it. So from now on, follow the rules just like everyone else. Or I'll make sure of those extra cleaning duties.
Give that to Costello. He'll give you the negatives. Of course, I know when you've got them, you'll probably try to double-cross me. But just remember, even from in here, it's not hard to put a contract out on you. If anything goes wrong with my escape, you won't have time to gloat about it. Do we understand each other?
This afternoon? You mean I'm going to be living like a real person tonight?
If you do what you're told, yes. Desmond has to be fixed before we go. It's part of the deal. An overdose of heroin with fingerprints on the hypo.
And how are we going to do that?
We'll take it to the shower rooms where it's quiet. Then you'll hold it down while I stick the needle in.
You seen Nora? Daphne said she was hurt.
Oh, yes, the little mother. Daphne's a panic merchant. Flynn complained of stomach pains. Probably the little brat making its presence felt. Anyway, she went to the toilet. I'm sure she'd be quite happy to have you hold her hand.
By God, you are a bitch. Nora, you're...
Easy, Lou! We don't want any telltale bruises. People might ask questions. Get her up.
Nora, what happened to it?
She's okay. If she wasn't, it wouldn't be any great loss.
You bitch!
We're not having a good day, are we? Hold her tighter, Kelly.
Ferguson, you mongrel!
You're just in time. I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
Seems fitting that you go out and overdose, doesn't it, Desmond? You've blown us. No, get out of that!
Yeah, what's going on? It's Nora.
Just when I came by, or we'd have had a murder on our hands.
Let me go! Just hold still.
Kelly and Ballinger were about to inject Desmond with something. If I hadn't come by, she'd be dead.
She's alive. She was in on it. Just shut up.
If I go down, you're going to come with me. I'm going to tell Reynolds the truth, and I'm going to get Kelly to back me up.
You're not really very bright, are you, Ballinger? You're going to rot in this place. And I'm going to see to it that your stay is not a pleasant one.
You won't have time to enjoy yourself. You've double-crossed me, so there's a contract out on you as of now.
You don't scare me.
I don't have to. I wouldn't sleep at night if I were you, and I'd be careful crossing the street. You won't know where or when, but I promise you, you're dead.
So you found me, so what now?
We're going to get you out, lady.
Yeah, we're being paid top dollar so you and your old man can have lunch together tomorrow.
On the sense. Okay, let's go.
You'll get a longer sentence if you go with them, Ballinger.
I've got enough problems already with it.
No, she doesn't deserve to die that easily.
You're right.
We can still make use of her, and then she's mine. Since Myra is the top dog, I think it'd be a much better idea if she chose the next one to die. Don't you?
I don't care who it is, so long as we get it over and done with.
Why don't we set a deadline? Oh, I'm sorry. What an unfortunate choice of words. Say we'll give her 1 minute to make a choice, or we'll kill Flynn and the brat.
All right, top dog. 1 minute.
How about Graham? Will he? That'd give her plenty to weep about now, wouldn't it?
Come on, Ballinger.
Lurch? Or what about our little socialite? What else have we got?
Why don't you just cut it out, you sadistic bitch?
Temper, temper. I think we'd get a lot more laughs if Desmond chose all our little martyrs from now on. Eh, Desmond?
Joe, kill it!
All right, Desmond, since you insist on proving how noble you are. Ram, she's next. Say please. I'll make it quick. Otherwise... You bitch. Kill her.
Don't, please! Don't beg, any of you. Do it! Nora, tell the kids I love them. Tell Kay if she needs anything to contact Jeff.
I said kill her!
Tell her I love her.
No!
I only want to...
Well, you got what you wanted. You've got all the charm of a Death Adder, lady.
That makes us two of a kind, doesn't it? Tell me that, Ferguson. You're going to beg for us too.
God, lady, do it or she'll kill you.
She'd kill me anyway. Wonder if she'd be so brave if I had a gun too.
We made it. We actually got away with it.
We're not there yet. They're around here somewhere.
Was it clean?
Maybe. The plane could be full of cops.
Well, what do?
We go out.
You're not going to do anything, are you? Come on, mate. Let us
Shut
go.
up. Out.
Ready if you are.
You bastard! Do it!
Come on, lady, don't blow it now.
Hold it, lady! Don't make me shoot you!
There won't be any more deals. She'll rot in jail. She wants you to shoot her.
you don't, I'll
You'll be doing her a
have
favour. Joan,
You're frightened.
she's not bloody worth
You're
it.
frightened, you
Don't do it, Joan.
You know I'll get you. Come on and make it good!
Put the gun down, Joan. She's not worth it.